Hmm. Welcome back, guys. I thought I'd choose the right bottle for this occasion. We got a Dragon Ball bottle right here. Because guess what? Today I bring to you finally my green OG Broly deck profile. Now, I've been wanting to do this for so long, eh? And this is just something fun, right? This is something fun. I absolutely love this deck. There's so many good green cards as well that you can put into this deck right now. Um, and I'm just like, I'm tossing and turning between everything. And I'm like, you know what? I just thought I want to play something just really wacky and wild and fun. Just super fun and chilled and relaxed. And at the moment, like, look, I'm still brainstorming and I'm still going over through some other Broly builds. But welcome to my first wacky idea from set one, OG Broly. A little bit of a revamp here. So, my boy, man, my boy. If you guys haven't heard of or know, which I'd be surprised if you haven't, but people that are just tuning in, kind of like getting into the game and stuff. Back in the day, set one Broly was a beast. So we're in set 20 now, and this thing's just getting out of control. Green has no love whatsoever, and we need to bring that vibe back to it, right? So I was like, hell, like I wanna do some green stuff, you know? We wanna play around. We wanna do some green stuff. And I was like, alright, let's get back to the original OG man of this game, of that I used to love. So Broly, right. This is Awakened Sight. Anyway, Oni's not Awakened Sight. His permanent was he could never attack into battle cards, which was just so dumb. It was just sad, man. It was sad. But the reason being is because when this card attacks, both players choose a card from their hand and place in the drop area. So this guy was straight away a hand destruction deck that would just destroy, obliterate your hand. And it was good. It was good. And for all those OG players out there that remember all this old stuff, man, you guys can probably um, familiarize yourself. I think I said that right. um, with this whole deck and maybe with like just the OG plays, just the basic stuff. And it was fun. It was fun. It was super fun, and I really enjoyed it. So um, anyway, Broly was a handful because if you didn't have the ring out, this thing would just it'd die. Like you just be killing yourself. You would just be nerfing yourself in the process, and it was sad, right? So when they brought out a little bit of support for it being the demonic restraint and such, I felt like it kind of had a little bit of love there, not a lot, but they gave Broly a little bit of love to see what it could be capable of, and it just never went anywhere. But anyway, so that was the set one leader there, and his normal was four or less, you draw two. And then on his awakened side, but same thing, both players drop a card from hand when he attacked. You draw a card, but the thing is that you both choose one card in your hand, both choose one card in your battle area, and you place them in the drop area. So it doesn't KO, it places a card in the drop area, so which was really cool. It got around those KOing effects and such. But anyway, let's get straight into the deck. All right, I know you guys just yeah, hankering for. I know you can see what's going on right now with this profile, but I was just like, you know what? I want to explain to you the players that I put in this deck and why I chose this mechanic to run. So, Dawn of the Rampage, great, great card. This card is awesome. It was one cost. This is set one card, by the way. Look at the top seven cards of your deck, and you just choose a green Broly, add it to your hand, which is beautiful. You can pick out all these other Brolys here that we got. Even the secret rare. Yes, we're running the SS3 secret rare, which is huge. Anyway, sorry. We go into the Paragus. Paragus' Sacrifice was another huge card. Um, Sorry, I just had a little bit of a tickle in my throat. Paragus' Sacrifice is a huge card because you choose one green card in your drop area. In your battle area, you place it in the drop area, and then you draw a card. And this is huge because you get full value of the demonic restraint with your field card. So the thing about this it was like when you have this on the field, you don't have to discard a card in your hand every time. So this replaces to be a Broly's ring essentially from the old set one Paragus card that would bring out the Broly's ring. So this essentially stops you from discarding a card. So every time you swing, your opponent just discards a card when this card hits the field, which is awesome. So I'll just run through the order real quickly so you guys can understand this if you haven't seen this before, because I know we're way past this time and era. We're going back. We've hit the time portal. We're going back, and I'm showing you guys a blast from the past right here. So if your leader is a mono green Broly card, when this card is discarded or placed in the drop area from your battle area by one of your leader or battle card skills. Now this is huge, this is where I'm getting at. Activate this card from your drop area, then add up to one card from your life to your hand. Up to. And in question, you can use this with Paragus to Sacrifice. Now this was a fun little play that I always loved doing. Bouncing around from play to play, I was like, alright, we'll play the Paragus. We'll chuck this in the drop area from the effect, draw a card off this, and then take up to one life and add it, and add it to hand to self-awaken to draw 2 back. And then you can just continue to then attack and then draw another card and then make your opponent discard. So it's essentially like a 4-card switch around, turn around, which is really cool. So you benefit your hand substantially. And yeah, the other thing was, which was huge, and this card brought this deck somewhat a little bit relevant when it came out. For 3 energy, when you activate main, if your leader characters, if your leader card, is a mono green Broly, choose up to 1 mono green Broly card with energy cost of 6 or less in your hand and play it. This was huge because this gave access to this monster, the Rampaging Horror. And this Rampaging Horror, when he came out, it was insane because you choose 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, put him in the discard area, and he's a 30k double strike. He is massive, but choosing cards out of your opponent's hand is always great. It's just, something like that. You can just snipe out 2 good cards, like a negate, a floodgate of some sort, a good battle card that they might be using for next turn, whatever it might be, a secret rare. Who knows? So that was a little play there, which I always loved. The Unison package I chose to run was the Freezer. This Freezer is pretty cool. Reason being because it can stick. It's pretty cool. So if this card would lose a marker, right, from an opponent's attack, you may choose one of your Freezer's army tokens and remove it from the game instead, which is really good because when I played him out, I always would add up. You add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, so you don't have to take that life. And you play 1 Freezer's army token, 10,000 power, which is cool. So you start to slowly build your board, which is pretty cool. And then when you're neg 3, the other activate main is choose all of your tokens. Once you've built up enough, if you do intend to survive with this Unison, all your Freezer army tokens, all your tokens in question gain they gain plus 10,000 power for the turn, which is big. Then you choose one of your opponent's cards from their hand and discard it. So again, you're choosing the card out of your opponent's hand, it's hand destruction, and all your tokens, right? And it says choose all your tokens, so not Freezer tokens. And in question, this is why I run this card, Chilled. Let the battle begin. This is what I mean. There's a bit of wacky cards in here, but it's super fun, and I know you guys are going to love this. So this card's got Deflect, which I think irrelevant now, being the state of the meta, but it's still very helpful. The permanent is if your opponent has 2 or more energy, you can reduce the energy cost into your hand by 1. So it only comes out for 2, which is really good. 19k, Deflect, and when this card's played, you play up to 2 Chilled's army tokens with 10,000 power. You see where I'm going here? So it's sick. I love this because then it gets to the point is when your freezers come out, you can give 10,000 power as well off that effect to all your chill tokens as well, which is great. Also, activate battle. This is funny. Place 1 card from your life in your drop area. So unfortunately, you do have to create a life, but you choose up to 2 of your Chilled's tokens, and they get 10,000 power and blocking for the turn. Great on defense. Wacky on offense. Because you're looking at 20,000 attacker tokens, and if you did that with the Freezer Unison, you're looking at 30,000 swingers. It's great. I've done it before, and people are just like spun out by it. Like, what the hell's going on right now? I can't believe what I'm seeing. So yeah, it's a pretty cool play. I love it. So hey, I encourage you guys, if you guys are looking for something fun and wacky to play, this is the deck, man. So going back a little bit, all right, we'll rewind to how we get the demonic restraint, because you guys are probably thinking about that maybe. SS3 Broly, same Berserker. Now this card's a guaranteed a must 4 of in the deck, giving Broly, because when you attack with your leader, at the beginning when it says both you and your opponent have to discard a card in hand. You discard this off the effect. And when this card is placed in your drop area from your hand by skill, which is from the Broly leader, obviously, you get to grab a Broly's ring from your deck and activate it. Like I was saying before, Demonic Restraint the permanent acts as the Broly's ring. So this acts as ring in all areas. So this card also treated as Broly's ring in all areas. So as from the permanent effect. And cards in your hand can't be discarded by your green Broly card skills. So it's great. So that's what you need. Also, which is very huge, for 4, choose one Broly's ring in your battle area, place it in his drop area, and you play his card from your hand. And then when you play him, right, it goes off with the other auto effect to choose up to one green Broly card in your hand with energy cost 7 or less and play it. So you can play the Rampaging Horror, or you can play this bad boy, which I played just a one of. But like I said, I'm still tinkering with this deck a little bit. But it's good fun. I've been having fun with it. And this guy, the Supreme Berserker, is huge. I love this guy. Such a good card. He's critical, he's barrier, he's 30k, and when he attacks, you get to choose one of these, and your opponent, they have 3 or less cards in hand, is just switch it to active mode. It's essentially a dual attack critical, 30k. Or, if your opponent has 4 or more cards in hand, they reveal their hand and choose one card from it and place it in the drop area. Any card! Yeah, Secret Rare, Floodgate, whatever you want to choose. Like, it's so good. You know, extra card, battle card, whatever. So, and it's information as well, which is really good. So there's that. And then, on top of this, when that's out, from the 8 cost or the 7 cost, right, you can play the Broly Ultimate Agent of Destruction, Secret Rare, which is huge. And this is where it's like, when one of your battle cards with energy cost of 7 or more is removed from the battle area by skill or KO'd, right, activate this skill. You may choose all your cards other than this card in your hand and place them in the drop area. If you do, you play this card from your hand. And we know what this Secret Rare does. He's a 40k double strike dual attack. And if you've got 1 life, when he attacks, your opponent discards his whole hand. So that's huge. And to get him out, to knock off these boys, the 8 cost or the 7 cost, would be the Paragus, obviously, in the field. Knock one of them off the skill, play this off, draw a card, bang. Auto effect will go off first. So I assume you draw first, then you'll play him. Unfortunately, I have to discard the card. And the rest, and then you play the Broly. But usually when that happens, you're pretty much going for game, obviously, and you pretty much got game, unless your opponent's just, still got a bunch of cards in hand, which at this time, they usually do, but at least this deck's fun. It's a good play, it's nice, it's fun, it's whatever, but, test it out, you guys might love it. So next battle card we got here is the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. I thought about playing this because I was like, I love this card. It doesn't see play, and I think it can be quite resourceful, right? He's a 20k double strike. He can come out for 1 energy. Just one green energy, because the whole thing with the Broly deck was it's very hard to use your resources because Broly doesn't have any effects to untap or anything. When he awakens, he doesn't untap. He draws, and he discards your opponent. It's a hand destruction deck. There's no untapping, there's nothing. So you got to be very resourceful with your energy. And you want to make things, you want to utilize a lot more with what you got. You know what I mean? And you'll get more effects off that. So if your leader card is green and this card is in your combat area, when one of your green battle cards attacks and carries an opponent's battle card, you play this card from your combat area for 1 energy. And then when this card attacks, you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards KO, or your opponent chooses one card in their hand and discards it. So another again, hand destruction or board clear, and he's 20k double strike for 1 energy. So he's good, he's fun. We got 2 of him. Of course, because we play the Frieza Unison, we play Frieza Charismatic Villain. Great counterplay, we all know what that does. Boom, 7 or less is just dead from the counterplay, which is great. Dormant Potential Unleashed. Great card, we know what this does. It can be free off the Unison, or you tap 1, discard another green card they can't attack for the rest of the turn after that swing. Or they only got one more attack for the turn after that swing. And KO's up to 2 or less, which is quite nice. Gets rid of little bitty betties, the little munchkins, you get rid of those little annoying little munchkins, I like calling them that, So Homicidal Clones, great card. Token negate, we all know what that does. 5 or less life, you can take a life, negate the attack, and then play a token, block a token, which is always good fun. Cells Earth Destroying Kamehameha. God, best card in the world. It used to be. Oh man, I remember I used to love seeing this card run rampage around. It was so good in the green decks. It was wild, absolutely wild. Um, yeah, because you're playing a mono green deck, so it's great. All your energy's going to be green anyway. Um, if your leader card's green, shoot up to one of your leader cards or battle cards gets plus 15,000 power for the battle. If all of your energy is green, like I was saying, when you activate this card, you choose one card in your opponent's hand, plays in drop area. So it's great. Picks out of your hand, out of your opponent's hand again. So as you can see, this deck's good hand destruction. A lot of it's actually choosing cards out of your opponent's hand, so you can sniper out some good cards. So I said it's super fun. Out of the super combos, we have a 2-2 split here right here. We went Paragus, obviously draw 2, warp 1, always fun. And Vegeta, Lone Prince. 0-10k, draw a card. But the fun thing about this is you can just tap one, play him, and make your opponent discard a card. You know, and then use him from the battle area. I tend to do this if I don't have much of a play going on. I do funny stuff like this. I'll give you a little bit of my plays. I'll just be like, yeah, I'll tap one, play Vegeta, discard a card, swing Broly, discard another card, then use him as a combo, draw a card, and draw a card from Broly. So I'm actually discarding 2 from hand and also drawing back 2, which is quite nice. All for just, essentially when you think about it, 1 energy. That's pretty good. It's a 2-player swing. So hey, it's pretty fun. Like I said, you give us a shot, you guys might enjoy it. And Dark Broly, of course, we play 1 Overrealm. Now I know you're probably thinking, no, you can't play it because the SS3, but if this is in your hand, just pray to God, just keep it in hand because your hand's hidden informations are hidden. Hidden section of the game. So obviously, if it's in your hand, it's safe. You'll be able to still play the Broly, the SS3 Berserker, as long as it's not anywhere on your battlefield or your drop area or your warp. Then yeah, unfortunately, you won't be able to play the SS3 because everything's got to be green. But yeah, you just hope it's in your deck or it's just in your hand, so it's fine. But that's why we play one of. We want that little bit of board clearance, another 30k attacker, and a Stark Broly. Come on. Yeah, we got to play some sort of overround. Give this deck a bit of a chance, right? So now we're going on to the Z deck. I do not have a side deck, unfortunately, guys, because I'm still working on the deck. But this is, like I said, a nice, fun main deck just to have a crack at, have some fun, toy around with it, and give you guys just a nice little base of what to play. Z deck is really good. Now I love this part of the deck because that's your main deck. This is your reinforcements right here. This card's insane. It's insane. It gives Broly some sort of relevance. Thank God, man. So if your leader's a Broly card, ignore the specified cost in all areas. So don't have to tap a red and green for it, obviously. You can just tap your 2 green energy and play this guy out. The other thing about it, this card can't be KO'd by skills while it's in a battle area. So in other words, it can't be KO'd by skills. That's insane. When this card attacks, you use up to 1 red or green card with 5,000 combo power from your drop area in a combo. Obviously, with its skills negated for the turn, and if you have 4 or fewer cards in hand, you draw a card. So if you're starting to get low in hand, you draw a card from that. He's a 20k attacker, essentially. Cannot be KO'd by skills in the battle area. And you activate main, sorry, discard 1 card from your hand, and then you can add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then choose one. Your opponent discards 1 card from their hand, or you choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with 20,000 power or less and KO it. So again, board clearance, more discard, and you also draw a card back, and you use a 5k combo card from your drop area as well when he attacks, and cannot be KO'd by skills. That's only 2 energy for this card. Broly the Demon Revived is such a good card. This card gives this deck a little bit more relevance, which is really good. Frieza, Resurrected Ambition. I don't mind this card. This card's actually pretty good for 2 energy. A little bit of a high cost for the deck at the time now because, like I said, we don't untap, but it's still worth this play. Has Deflect, Double Strike, 15k. When this card's played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 5 or less and KO it. And then also the other auto, once per turn, place 1 of your Z energy in its own drop area. When one of your other green battle cards with an energy cost of 2 or more attacks, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. Boom. So you get this guy out, you get the Demon Revived out, you get Freezer Resurrected Ambition out. It's a 2-player swing. You're making him discard 2 cards from hand, you're drawing back, and you also got another 15k double striker on the field, and you KO 5 or less too. So you got a lot of value going on here, guys, with these 2 cards. Like, it's insane. And then, of course, Jiren, the immovable. My boy Jiren, my boy Broly, my boy Jiren in one deck. Oh, it's heaven. So we got Jiren. He's got Deflect. This card's great. I love this card. When this card's played, it's up to one of your green battle cards. Energy cost of 5 or less, and it can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills until the end of the next turn. You give that to Freezer as well. It's just going to be hard for them to deal with your board. All of a sudden, the deck is getting quite insane for what it is, right? Like, it's not bad. It's fun. It's super fun. And the other activate main is place any number of your Z energy cards in your owner's drop. Choose up to one of your opponent's Unison. Remove a marker from it for each Z energy placed in your drop. In a drop by this skill. Additionally, if you place 2 or more Z energy in the drop by this skill, this card gains 10,000 power and double strike too. It's a 25k double striker, right? And gives a 5 or less battle card that can't be removed by skills too. So these 3 cards in your Z deck is great support for this OG set 1 Broly deck here. Like, it's insane. I do apologize. 1 card I did miss out on. Actually 2. There's 2. Sorry, because I'm looking at it now. I didn't explain this quickly. I'll explain this real quick. Broly, the Swift Berserker. This card's insane. I love this card. For 1, when this card's played, you may choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. And if you do, choose up to one of your mono green Broly cards with an evolve cost skill from your hand and play it on top of him. That's insane. How good's that? But to play him out, when your leader is if your leader is a mono green and you have 3 or more energy, you may choose one of your mono green battle cards with energy cost of 1 and Broly in its character name, or a mono green extra card with energy cost of 1 on the field with skill and place it in your own drop here. And if you do, you place a card from your hand. So for 1 energy, you do this off the skill from the demonic restraint that comes back out. You can take a life if you like. You play him. As soon as you play him for 1, you tap 1 more, KO one of your opponent's battle cards, and then X evolve into the Rampaging Horror. To then additionally take 2 cards out of your opponent's hand and you swing for a 30k double strike, all for like 2 energy. That's not bad. So there's 2 ways to get the Rampaging Horror out a lot quicker. If you don't have that, even the Supreme Berserker is always a good one to hit too. And of course, the old-fashioned Riveran. Who can forget Riveran? The legend herself. Punishing Passion. Because when she's in the drop, you tap 2. And yeah, you send her to the warp. Your opponent chooses 2 cards from their hand and places them in the drop area. What's more better than more hand destruction, right? More viable. Utilizing cards from drop is one of my favorite skills to use. Like, one of my favorite mechanics to use. It's so good. I love it. So it's just like another little bread and butter there. So I love the deck. Look, it's super fun, guys. I really do hope you guys enjoyed the profile. It was a nice, awesome, like, little bit of an explained about like everything about what you can do with it as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you did, remember to like, shoot some comments down below. Let me know what you think. And I am still going through some other options with this deck. We got a few different builds happening, but this is probably one of my favorite ones just because of the whole token situation here with Freezer and Shield and whatnot. So I love that whole concept there. And then the Z cards as well there. It's such a good addition to the deck. So yeah, shout out to Beyond Odyssey as well before I head off. The guys are always grinding and helping us out. And also TCT, Indy there, Team Card Titan, always great support there for what he does with us as well. So with auctions and whatnot. And shout out to everyone else and the teams and everything. So thank you very much, guys, always for your support. We really appreciate it. If there's anything else that you guys want to see, let us know. We'll do our best. We'll do our best to make it happen. So yeah, once again, remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell to stay notified, and we will see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Thanks.